Hello, this is Cornet here. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be showing off a few of my Minecraft builds. Um, it's been a very long time since I've been on the channel, and basically I've been doing a ton of things offline, and mainly on Minecraft. So I decided I'm going to show them off. This is it's not going to be all impressive. I'm not the best builder in the world, but I do enjoy building a lot on creative and in survival worlds. So I hope you enjoy. So, welcome. This is the Castle and Countries world. It's basically I decided to terraform this entire map into a kind of RPG style world. I tried to do this before. It wasn't really my favorite, so I guess this is how it's going to be. It's not done yet, but this is one of the major cities I've been working on, and it's just the start to the video, so if you're disappointed at this, don't worry, there's more. So, welcome back. So, if you're a bit confused why we're in the sky barrier and this is the survival world, well, you should be rightfully so. This is the countries world. This is where most of my time's been going to. I've been running my own worlds, which I have my friends playing on. It was the same people from the Minecraft survival world for the 1.16 update, I believe. So one day I said I want to do a thing, and I did a thing, and that thing was creating the entire sky, covering the entire sky in a world border. So basically this is just entirely barrier blocks. And since this isn't Java and this is Bedrock I'm playing on, guess what? You can't cover the entire sky with one command because there's a limit to how much you can go and there's no world edit. So I had to do this individually in large chunks, and this took an entire weekend to complete. But it was all worth it because not only do we have the sky border, but we also get to draw borders in the sky. That's why it's the country world. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to take a fly around. So, now most of these aren't entirely my builds. These are some of my friends' builds. I'm going to take you to the city I've been building at. So, the first build I'm going to show off here is the Colosseum. This is a small version of what I really wanted to build, which would have been huge and insane and time-consuming, but it served its purpose for our fighting arena, just to have a little fun and mess around. Yep. And then the next build we have, which is conveniently placed, is the Eiffel Tower. Now, this Eiffel Tower is basic, it's simple, it's not too much, you know, you've seen an Eiffel Tower here and there. The grass hedges in the middle, which make it amazing. But now you may be asking, how did you make this? Sorry, this is a bubble elevator without any water in it. So it's a cool trick with dispensers and water, soul sand, and just redstone blocks. I'll show later in the video, or I can cut to it now. Okay, so now while this isn't it, there's still some more I want to show off, like this. So this isn't a finished build, but this is one of my this is one of my most flashy. This is a small replica of the Forbidden Palace. Most of these buildings don't really have a purpose. There's supposed to be a housing for the pandas we have over there. That's a whole nother story, but it's still one of my most impressive builds because I did collect all of these resources in survival. Now, I may have made this thing in a creative world. Most of these things were collected in survival, and this took a really long time to put together, and it's still not finished yet. So, if you couldn't see, this server is just a collection of mini builds I've been placing back and forth just to hold together the survival world. Okay, cutting, whatever you say. And guess what? We cut to the next part. Mind-blowing, I know. And we're here. So, welcome to the pirate world. This world is just a collection of a pirate phase. I just watched the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, whatever it's called. Great explanation. 10 out of 10. Uh, so I just watched Pirates of the Caribbean and play Sea of Thieves, and I'm like, this is gold. So I decided to load up a world and just create as much piratey things as I can. Didn't go very far because I was working on something else, which, I mean, took the rest of my time, but I got pretty far. So I decided to create a moving boat. Now this is one of my favorite builds because I literally took forever to do all the command blocks and everything, and it's still pretty janky and takes up a lot of loading time. Anyways, I've flushed out everything, full cabin, didn't put anything in the barrels or anything, but this was supposed to be a playable world that I was just creating for fun. Obviously, it would just be kind of like, it could have been a series idea, but, you know, had to scrap the idea because I was doing other things. But basically, after the chat is completely filled with utter nonsense that no one will understand, the boat will move forward. As you can see, we are moving away from shore, which is one of my favorite parts about this because, I mean, it's a literal moving boat. And, you know, the commands are pretty simple. Basically, it's taking a clone of itself and copy and pasting that and destroying behind it. So there needs to be enough space behind and in front to destroy the copy of itself, because it won't, I mean, there has to be like air blocks around. So we're going to sail pretty far out so we can test out the weapon system. And yes, I did add a weapon system because of course I would. Okay, this is literally going to take forever. It's just a single button. I should have used a lever or something. I really didn't know how to make it move, but I had to make it one by one. Basically, the idea behind this is I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible. So this is supposed to be the anchor, and every time the block is placed, that means the anchor is raised, so you just move forward a bit. Anyways, it's time. Okay, so in this barrel there are some firework rockets, which I used as the modeling for the weapon system. Oh, wasted one. And when you flick it... Okay, and we're back. After that total mess. Don't know what happened there, but maybe they changed the firework mechanics. Anyways, as you can see, when a firework is spawned in, there we go. When a firework is spawned in, it will teleport a piece of TNT to that firework, and then it will explode. So basically, these are working cannons, and without all the hassle of redstone, it's just using command blocks. Don't know how to get the chat out of the screen. Interesting. Anyways, totally worked first time. Absolute 10 out of 10 build. Let's move on. Okay, so this next one has an interesting story behind it. So, one day I decided to do a thing. And this time, it wasn't the sky barrier thing. This has been one of my biggest projects I've ever worked on. And this time, I decided to build the world. So, I loaded up infinite flat world and decided I'm going to build the world. So I decided to place a giant piece of stone blocks and just slam continents onto it. So first off, I started by just creating the stone platform with commands, and then I started creating the undergrounds, which there are actual caves in this world. If we fly over to Greenland, we just dig down. This is the only cave I remember placing. Should be, yeah. You can see on the edge here. I just filled it with ores and stuff, so it's an actual playable world. Since it's in a flat world, it spawns in mobs everywhere and everything. And this was small. This was sad. This was depressing. This wasn't what I wanted. I decided to create a world, and this wasn't the impressive, cool-looking thing I wanted. So, I decided to go bigger. And welcome. So, I decided to use the same seed as the pirate world, which was, I just needed a large ocean. So I started with a large ocean. Complete flat terrain at the bottom, large ocean, and I just decided to create an outline. Everything here should be outlined in sand. So I had to create a giant outline, so I drew it with dirt blocks marking it, and I just pillared sand up and broke those dirt blocks. And this is the final result. So, this was mainly the biggest reason I haven't been playing. Now that it's finally done, I can definitely make more videos after this. And, I mean, this is the biggest thing I've probably ever built in Minecraft. And there's a few interesting caveats with it. So, basically, since this is an entire ocean biome, there's no mobs that actually would spawn on here, and when I was creating the land, I didn't find any mobs, so I wanted this to be a playable world, so I decided to spawn in my own mobs. So if you end up seeing a polar bear in Kansas, well, that's why. And the second thing is, since this is all sand and there's no ocean at the bottom, I really wanted this to be a really nice playable world because I was into those map making types. So I decided to take a copy of the underground layers and just copy and paste it. So everywhere it's the same except when like they overlap with each other. So I copied and pasted these underground things. So you can kind of see here where the gaps are and like where they jet out. But it's a final product. It's a completely survival playable world in Minecraft. And then there's another thing. So I do know that there's another YouTuber that is creating a 1x1 creation of the world. He's loaded up an entire Java world and decided to create all those things. So that's pretty interesting because the day after I decided to build the last world, the video came out, and I've always been interested in these type of things. So I was like, oh, well, shoot, I guess I'll just finish it anyways. And then I decided to create this final product. So I'm going to fly up here to the maps so you can see the whole thing. And I also got all the biomes right. I even added some of the natural world wonders, even the tiny 2-bit maps here. These are two different maps, but they look exactly the same size. It's fun. And I also decided to add the opposite world instead of like the traditional world maps you see with the American continent on the left and the large Afro-Eurasian continent on the right. I decided to put it backwards. So I'm going to do a full fly around to end off the video. Don't need a turtle shell. I guess I'll use the turtle shell then. So this is where it ends off. If you guys liked what you saw here, please consider liking and subscribing. I have many more videos planned in the future, so you may want to stay tuned. It's been fun. See you all later.